Talking about today, the woman everyone's talking about today is Nancy Pelosi. And of all the things and the people that Donald Trump praised in his speech, right down to a 100-year-old decorated military veteran who was in the Tuskegee Airmen, Nancy Pelosi took the whole speech and ripped it up. I don't care about any of it, she said. And frankly, there's been a serious reaction to Nancy Pelosi's actions.
There has been, in fact, Donald Trump Jr. Took to Twitter, as only he can, and characterized the speaker's behavior thus, and compared it to what the president would be doing this afternoon. Take a look.
No, let's not take.
All right. Well, we'll take a look a bit later. Meantime, there's a ton of other news happening. The Harvey Weinstein trial is still going on, and there's a lot of controversy surrounding Jeffrey Epstein. Harvey Weinstein, the main accuser who has charged Harvey, whose rape is the subject of this very trial.
Yep.
Trying not to be too graphic here because it's been a couple of graphic days in court. She was on the witness stand most of the day yesterday being cross-examined, and she was trying to explain why she sent all these loving emails and then continued to have consensual sexual relations even after she was purportedly raped. Right. So it's going to be interesting to see if the jury buys that. Now, on the Epstein front...
Well, hang on. On that front, I also saw it was reported that the jury was shown full nude pictures of Harvey Weinstein, which I would think would be a quite disgusting display. Like, why would they be showing nude pictures of Harvey Weinstein?
Well, I don't know, honestly. And the defense
sounds like they're just humiliating him.
The defense tried to prohibit the jury from seeing those photos, but I mean, the accuser did make some very graphic descriptions of his anatomy. But if this was consensual sex, then she would probably have that same information.
She alleged
anyway.
that he had some deformation in the male area or something. So I mean, it sounds humiliating to me. What's happening with Epstein?
Okay.
Other than he's still alive?
Well, a Jeffrey Epstein accuser in his sex trafficking case is now filing a lawsuit against his estate. Now, the woman who's named Kiki is also making a direct plea to Prince Andrew to cooperate with the FBI and law enforcement. Now, Prince Andrew's accused of having sex with one of Epstein's accusers, and he has not cooperated with this investigation of Epstein, who, of course, most people believe is dead. Some people believe he hanged himself in a Manhattan federal jail. Meantime, the woman's attorney is pointing out, she's pointing the finger at officials for not extraditing the wife of an American diplomat charged in a fatal motorcycle crash in London last summer, adding that both she and Prince Andrew are not above the law.
Wow. Okay, so we got the Epstein-Weinstein report. I think we have that Nancy Pelosi clip that you wanted to show.
Well, no, it's not a clip. It's just a tweet from Donald Trump Jr. But that's okay. The moment has
we had the Trump tweet, but Donald Trump Jr. is quite entertaining on Twitter. I'll give him that. And Frankie, the coronavirus seems to me to be fizzling out, although there have been some cases reported in America. It seems like it's slowing down.
Well, it's certainly one of the people that they thought had the coronavirus here in New York has tested negative for that, so that's certainly good news for those of us in this area. Now, a traveler who passed through Newark Liberty International Airport has been placed under mandatory coronavirus quarantine. That's the first time a person in New Jersey has been ordered by the CDC to be quarantined in history. So the CDC recently added Newark to its list of airports where travelers from China would be medically screened.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know what I've been saying for a while now, and I've been doing it every day, taking my dose. You drink a little Corona beer. That fights off the coronavirus, that's for sure. And I don't know if it's time tested and true, but it's working for me. I've been drinking Corona every day. I don't even really like Corona, but I've yet to get any of the symptoms of the coronavirus, which may be good, Frank. I mean, Dr. Eric Braverman said Corona helps fighting.
He did not say that.
He did not say that.
No.
All right. Well, let's.
You heard that. You may have heard that.
That's what I heard. But don't listen to me. I'm no authority. That's for sure. But let's bring in Tom Ray, the CEO and founder of the Mold Authority. This is a nationwide company that does environmental testing for mold and mildew, and they tell you if your house is safe and if there are any toxins or viruses or anything else. And Tom's one of my dearest friends. He's a great friend of the show. And if anybody can be an authority and give you some tips on how to keep your home and your children and your family safe, it's my friend Tommy Ray, and he joins us right now via Skype from North Carolina. Hey, Tommy, what's happening?
Hey, John, great to be here on the show.
So, Tom, I'm fooling around on the show saying, you know, if you drink Corona beer, it fights the coronavirus, and doing all these other things. But it's serious, and you're dealing with this stuff like infectious stuff and toxins and environmental and air quality every single day across the country with the Mold Authority. What do people need to know if they're still concerned about this?
Right. So what you really need to do is, if you have any international travel plans, first off, if you're sick already, if you have a compromised immune system, the last thing you want to do is travel internationally right now if it's avoidable. If it's not avoidable, John, then you have to make a mask rated N95. And right now, most people are doing these painters dust masks. They don't do whatsoever. There has to be this filter in the middle, John, and that's a HEPA filter, which prevents the saliva particles from getting into your breathing passages.
So, Tommy, these little cheap dime store, dollar store masks, like you see people walking around, they're not doing anything for you. Our viewers and our friends at home need to know you got to look for the N95 mask. Is that right?
That's correct, John, and not a painter's mask, not a dust mask. It must have the N95 symbol right on the mask itself.
Fantastic. Now, one of the things I've been doing also is I found out that the Lysol dual action wipes actually says on the back that they prevent human coronavirus. So I've been washing myself with these Lysol wipes. Is that healthy for me or people at home or no?
Right. That's a good start, John. And even more importantly is for surfaces. The coronavirus could stay on a surface up to 7 hours. It's very important, whatever surface that you clean, doorknobs, anything you touch, you want to leave the surface wet before you wipe it away so it could kill the virus penetrating.
Got it. So, Frankie, I know you've been taking this a lot more seriously than me. I'm going to wipe down my desk here.
Well, one of the things, we've had a lot of medical professionals on the show, Tom, and a lot of what we've heard from them is that the flu is actually a much bigger threat than the coronavirus. I'm wondering, what role does mold play, and what efforts do your efforts play in general with respect to the influenza virus rather than the coronavirus?
Right. So mold obviously is something you always want to be concerned with, especially in an indoor environment. If your immune system is already compromised, whether you have the flu, any other ailments, or recent surgery, mold will attack your immune system. So it's very critical for anyone who has anything related to their immune system to avoid infected environment.
All right, I think we're having, Tommy, I think we're having some audio problems with you. We're going to check back in. That's Tom Ray from the Mold Authority. Check them out at moldauthority.com. They're nationwide. They can come to your rescue if you need some help with mold, mildew, or you want some advice on how to keep you and your family and your home safe. And Frank, you know, Tommy's a great friend. So, you know, those are some good tips that people need to know. Because I see people like Jess, one of our staff members here, said she came to work with one of those little masks on that you get in CVS, and according to Tom, that doesn't do a darn thing for you.
Very interesting. Well, it goes to show you about where Jessica is getting her medical information from. Maybe she should continue, she should seek out some better sources. By the way, one of the stories we're keeping an eye on, John, is the continuing chaos and the continued uncertainty of what happened in the Iowa caucuses. Now, apparently, the Iowa Democratic Party will release another tranche of caucus results in the early afternoon hours
Another
today.
tranche?
Yeah. According to a Democratic official, it's not known how much of the caucus results will be accounted for in the next disclosure.
So let me get, do we have any numbers yet on, like what was the turnout that represents 61%? Do we
I
get
don't
any?
know.
Still no turnout. We know in 2016 where they had a great turnout, a lot of first-time caucus goers, 170,000 people voted in the caucus in 2016 at 1,700 polling places. So that's like 100 votes in each place. And I'm still wondering why it's taken 3 days to count 100 votes at 1,700 polling areas.
Meantime, Mike Bloomberg, another Democratic presidential candidate, got his first gubernatorial endorsement, this time from the governor of Rhode Island, Gina Raimondo. And he's also been endorsed by the singer John Cougar Mellencamp.
Wow. So he probably made a serious donation to the governor's campaign. That's one of his modus operandi. And I find it interesting that legendary rocker John Cougar Mellencamp from Indiana doesn't come down on the side of Mayor Pete from Indiana, comes down on the side of Mini Mike Bloomberg from New York. So that may tell you something. If a fellow Indianan like John Cougar Mellencamp isn't with Mayor Pete, why is he with Mayor Mike?
And
it's all about the Benjamins.
You know, we're watching this impeachment vote that's going to take place later this afternoon. Apparently, right after we get off air, because he doesn't want to deal with us making fun of him, Senator Willard Romney is going to be speaking just an hour or so, just 2 hours before the impeachment vote. Democratic Senator Doug Jones, who comes from the very Trump-friendly state of Alabama, he's come out today and said he's going to vote for removal from office. So those are two guys that these days aren't too popular with within their state.
He's going to vote against removal. Doug Jones.
No, he's going to be voting for removal.
So he's voting against our president.
He's voting to remove the president from office, yes.
And as you may know, if you watch Liquid Lunch often, we have a few little inside jokes, but it's no joke. Mitt Romney's real name is Willard, and we're not referring to him as Mitt anymore. We call him either Willard or Pierre Delecto. That's his fake Twitter name. So this guy, talk about trying to blow up your entire career as a Republican. I don't get it.
I've never gotten the whole Romney thing. I'm very proud never to have voted for him.
Thank goodness. We're going to take a quick break, and it's going to get way hotter in here because, as she does every Wednesday for Woman Wednesday, Zen Sams will be here, give us our commentary on everything that's going on that's entertaining right after this.